everybody, what's up? We're back for more movie previews. I'm Joe Baress, this is Rebecca Kivak. I think we should just jump into it. We realize we're in the middle of the summer season right now, but there's still plenty out there that we could preview for you. But just to start off, Rebecca, how have you enjoyed your summer movie season so far? I realize that we haven't both been really on top of our movies at the moment, but what have you seen? What have you liked?
Well, this is probably true for most of you watching, but I've seen Avengers Endgame.
Yes.
I've actually seen it 3 times, so I've seen it maybe a little more than most people, but I think that's why the summer got off to such an early start, honestly, because you had this big movie that everyone's been waiting for since last year.
Right.
And yeah, I enjoyed it. I laughed, I cried. As someone who's been a fan of the Marvel Cinematic Universe for like 11 years now, this wrapped up 22 movies, honestly, perfectly. I couldn't have asked for a better way to end this chapter. Yeah, exactly. And I too have seen Avengers Endgame, only twice though, so you have me beat there. But I really couldn't have said it better myself. You know, this is everything that I would have wanted as a fan. I think they really accomplished, I don't want to say fan service because I feel like that has a negative connotation, but I think that this is a great movie for the fans. It's for us. To me it felt like a love letter saying thank you for being with us so long. This is for you. And you're right. Perfect is really the way to describe it. It's not the greatest movie ever, but it accomplished exactly what it set out to do, and you can't expect anything more. Another movie I saw was Long Shot, kind of a lesser known film, but you know, some big stars: Charlize Theron, Seth Rogen, O'Shea Jackson, Ice Cube's son, I think that's his name. And it was great. I really enjoyed it. The acting's great. I mean, Charlize is a goddess. She's amazing. And I really enjoyed it. That's not really your typical summer film, you know, but they dropped it in summer, and I thought it was great. I got a lot out of it. Now, what else did you see this time? I saw Pokemon Detective Pikachu.
Way to get the title right. Very good.
I know, right? Well, I've seen it a couple different ways, so I better get it right this time.
Yeah.
But I'm actually a big Pokemon fan. I've been a fan of them since like the Game Boy games. We're talking a long time ago, right? Since the Game Boy games came out. Yeah. And then when Pokemon Go came back, you know, I don't play that as much as I used to, but I really got caught up in that when that came to our phones. So I was really happy to see them make like the first live action Pokemon film, and first off, it's adorable. So it's so exciting to see how they transition the Pokemon from the games into real life. And if you're a Pikachu fan, this is going to be all for you. Ryan Reynolds is perfect as the voice of Pikachu. You know, you're so used to seeing that character say Pika Pika, but here he's so funny. This is a movie for family and kids, so you know you get a lot of the humor is appropriate for kids. Right. But he does put in a couple of jokes that they definitely go over kids' heads, and if you're an adult, you're gonna catch this stuff. So it was just really cute. If you're a fan of Pokemon, there's a lot of Easter eggs in there that you'll catch. But if you're kind of new to it and you just think it looks like a cute movie and you want to see it, I think you'd be okay because it doesn't hit you over the head with the lore. Yeah, that's great. And well, first let's jump into a movie that came out last weekend that maybe at least I was looking to see what the critical response would be, and that's Aladdin. Obviously a remake of Disney classic. I thought the promotion for this movie wasn't really great. You know, the Will Smith blue thing was a big deal for a while. I think they kind of course corrected that for the next trailer. He looked a lot better. You know, with a director like Guy Ritchie, who's a good director, he's a solid director. I really enjoy the Sherlock Holmes movies that he's done. But honestly, the promotion was poor, so I wanted to wait to see what happened, you know, what people would say about it.
despite the 58% on Rotten Tomatoes, a lot of people that I talk to say it's pretty great.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. What do you think about it?
Yeah, like I seen a really positive response on
Yeah.
Facebook, and it killed it at the box office
Right.
this weekend. So
Right.
I think it made like 112 million or
Yeah.
something.
Yeah.
So like what you said, one of the things I'm most interested to see in this is how Will Smith tackles the role
Yeah.
of Genie. I mean, Robin Williams made that his own at first
Right.
when they announced the casting. It was hard to think of anybody but Robin Williams
Yeah.
being this character, let alone live action.
Right.
But audiences have always liked Will Smith. Like he's one of the few actors who can actually carry a movie by himself.
That's
like
true.
he's one of the only people in I Am Legend.
Yeah.
So I definitely want to see like what he does in this movie.
Right. No, I'm with you 100%. So I mean, I'll definitely be out to see that.
Mm-hmm.
Let's continue on our Disney/Pixar category here that we've forced you into. The next movie I have on my list is Toy Story 4. Rebecca, let's start with you this time. What do you think?
I actually thought that Toy Story 3 wrapped up the franchise perfectly.
True, that's true.
I mean, like that, like, first off, the Toy Story movies are so good, honestly.
Yeah.
Like, I almost feel like they get better with each movie.
Yeah.
But that movie Toy Story 3 did such an exceptional job of, like, tackling some pretty deep issues.
They
like,
did.
even
They did.
the concept of death. Like, they tackled that and presented that in a way that kids could understand.
Right.
And they just wrapped up the characters so well that, like, part of me is wondering how can this movie improve upon that.
Right.
But you've got all the regulars coming back.
Yeah.
You have Tom Hanks. You have Tim Allen. How could this not be exciting?
Yeah.
And I actually am really interested to see what they did with Bo Peep. There's been a lot said out there about the fact that they changed her costume. She doesn't have the pink dress anymore, and she's wearing pants.
Right.
So will she be more empowered in this film? I hope so. Like I can't wait to see what they do with her.
Definitely, and I feel the same way. Like you were saying, 3 really was a beautiful wrap up, and to especially a person like me, Andy's age was really similar to my age growing up. So like when the movies were coming out, it was like it was pretty close. So like I felt like Andy, and like I got it. And I may have cried a bit once the third one happened.
It's hard not to during the third one, honestly. Yeah.
Right. So, like you said, though, seeing these characters back together again, although the third one wrapped it up, I can't help but be excited for a fourth movie in this franchise. Speaking of another big movie of this summer, The Lion King should make Disney quite a bit of money. Now, when it comes to me, I think that a lot of these Disney reboots are very unnecessary. I think a lot of them, I don't think they're bad, I just think they're lacking based on what we grew up with. But I do think that it could be necessary to pass this on to the next generation. Mm-hmm. So I think maybe that's what they're trying to do. Maybe they're just trying to also make some money. But getting to The Lion King, I think that Jon Favreau taking this on, I think he's a very good director. He also did The Jungle Book, which I think looked great. Again, I don't think it was as good as The Jungle Book. For a person my age I feel like I'll be disappointed after seeing this movie just because I know what the original is, essentially. But how do you feel going into that point?
I am excited because I am caught up in the nostalgia. Between this and The Little Mermaid and Beauty and the Beast, like that was an amazing period of my childhood to go and be able to see these movies.
Right.
But then you make a great point. Disney's been making so many of these live action remakes of their classic catalog. Like this year alone, think of this. This year alone, we have Dumbo, Aladdin, The Lion King.
Yeah.
First off, that's a lot for 1 year.
Exactly.
So I think they're running the risk of oversaturation here.
Yeah, absolutely.
But out of those 3, I honestly think most people are probably going to see The Lion King. That just seems to have a special place in our hearts.
Yeah.
But you made a good point. Like, why are they remaking these movies? Are they trying to bring something different? And honestly, at first, I think they were.
Yes.
When you had The Jungle Book come out, I actually thought that was quite a bit. It expanded a lot upon the original. So I actually liked the new Jungle Book better.
Liked it better, yeah.
And even with Cinderella, you had that movie actually took a deeper look at the prince and what was going on with him. Like that movie actually made some really good changes and just expanded upon some of the stuff in the original movie.
Right.
But it seems like more of these recent remakes are sticking closer to the original, so then we have to ask why remake a classic at this point.
Right. No, absolutely. We're leaving our Disney category here.
We're leaving our childhood behind.
Yeah, we're leaving our childhood behind.
Bye-bye.
And we're moving to action.
Yeah.
We're going to start with, this will be the lesser known, although I hope it's going to be really good. And this movie's called Anna. When I first saw this trailer, you know, this is a really good cast. You've got like Luke Evans, Cillian Murphy. I don't know. I still don't know. I think it's
like him
Cillian.
as an actor, though.
Yeah, he's very
great
good.
Actor.
Yeah.
Can't say your name, but great actor.
Right. I think we got a Helen Mirren in here as well.
Oh, I was so happy to see this. Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, there's a lot of potential here. Sasha Luce. I'm not sure.
I think I've seen her before, but
yeah.
I'm not sure where.
She was in Valerian, the City of a Thousand Planets.
That explains a lot.
Yeah, okay, there you go. Yeah. So I think that this looks good. I think that the trailer scares me slightly. I guess my issues would be I don't know anything about Sasha Luce.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I've never seen her. But, I mean, the trailer makes her look great. I mean, it looks like she's doing her stunts, that's for sure. But the thing that scares me about the trailer is that they show, at least the trailer I saw, they show one action sequence.
It's a heck of an action sequence.
And it's a heck of an action sequence. Yeah, it looks great.
Oof.
It would really annoy me, though, if we went in to see this movie and that was the only like action sequence, or they tried to fool us in a way. Also, Luc Besson. Not a fan.
I run hot and cold with him.
I don't like that the trailer says like from the producer of Lucy, and like,
I didn't like
Lucy's
Lucy.
one of the worst movies I've ever seen in my life.
Actually, same here. Yeah.
Yeah. So
in recent years, especially.
Right. So, but I'm cautiously optimistic, I guess, about this movie. But what do you think?
I'm with you. I think it's fair to draw a comparison between this movie and Atomic Blonde.
Yes,
frankly, because if you haven't seen the trailer for this, check it out because there's some definite Atomic Blonde vibes in it.
Right.
You know, you have a spy story here. You have what looks to be possibly an action-heavy film, but we don't really know because we haven't seen the movie yet.
True.
That was the issue with Atomic Blonde. The trailers looked amazing for it. It looked like it was wall-to-wall action.
Yeah.
But when you saw the movie, there wasn't that much action. It was very spread out.
Yeah.
And honestly, the trailer actually showed you every single one of the action set
That's true.
pieces in
That's
Atomic
true.
Blonde.
Yeah.
So that you go in having certain expectations for a movie based on the trailer, and then you see the movie and it doesn't meet those expectations. I have the same worry about this movie. That action sequence looks amazing.
Amazing, yeah.
You got gunplay.
Yeah.
It's set in a restaurant, and there's people fighting each other with broken dishes.
Right, exactly.
That just sounds crazy
Looks
right off
awesome.
the bat.
Yeah.
But you made a great point. That's the only action that they actually showed. So is that the only action set piece in the movie?
Right.
Or is it the best one? Or are they just
Right.
showing us the best parts here? And we don't know. So yeah, I think we're fine to be going into this skeptical.
Yeah, definitely. And hopefully they are hiding some nice nuggets and not horrible plot points like Atomic Blonde. Like you were saying, that was a great comparison. Moving on to this should be a blast. Fast and Furious presents Hobbs and Shaw. I mean, first of all, you got two of the most charismatic actors in the business today, in Jason Statham and The Rock, and then all of a sudden you throw Idris Elba in.
Yes.
So
yes.
I mean, how could this even fail? You've got a director in David Leitch who's experienced with movies like John Wick and Atomic Blonde.
Speaking of
Atomic Blonde. So he's going to be very good with the action. It just this movie to me, I mean, I don't really have so much to say about it. Is that like I'm 110% on board just because it looks so much fun, and it doesn't even have to be the greatest movie. It just looks like a blast at the theater. But what do you think?
I'm so excited for this movie. I am a big fan of the franchise, but honestly, I was disappointed with Fate of the Furious.
Me too.
It was like darker than
It was
normally
too dark. Yeah, I agree.
You really felt the loss of Paul Walker.
Yeah.
And honestly, the best parts of that movie were Jason Statham and The Rock.
Right.
So apparently other people realize this, and the fact they're getting their own spin-off is fantastic.
Right.
And like you said, this movie doesn't necessarily have to be perfect, but it looks like so much fun. Just put the fun back in the Fast and Furious. That's what I want for this.
I love it. I love it. So moving on to our next action film, we have Angel Has Fallen. Now, Rebecca is much more experienced in this franchise than I am. I've only seen the first one. Believe it or not, this is the third film in this franchise. But just quickly before I throw it to you, it's been very smart. I mean, the second film made more money than the first and had a lesser production budget. So, I mean, it's a smart franchise. But what do you think of the franchise, and are you excited for this?
Yeah, I honestly like the franchise. You know, Olympus Has Fallen is a fantastic film.
Yeah.
It actually, a lot of people have compared it to Die Hard Underneath the White House, and the action was really well done. It had that suspense to it. I also saw London Has Fallen, which that was more, to me, that movie was more fun. It wasn't maybe quite as good in terms of the action as the first movie, but I had so much fun with it because Gerard Butler is great with one-liners. He got funnier in between the two movies, and his comedic talent really shows through in London Has Fallen.
Right.
But yet you expect him to be able to protect the president. He goes through the first two movies protecting the president from different threats. In Angel Has Fallen, he actually is considered to be the threat to the president. He's apparently being framed for trying to assassinate the president, who is actually played by Morgan Freeman in this. So we had a changing of the guard. It's no longer Aaron Eckhart. It's Morgan Freeman. So I like that they're actually putting a twist on what we've come to know from the franchise.
Absolutely.
And another thing with this movie is the first two movies actually came out in March, which is, usually not a big month for blockbusters or for action-heavy movies, although it's kind of starting to change.
True, that's true.
But this is the first time a film in this franchise has come out during the summer. This is actually coming out in August. So I'm thinking that because, like you said, because this franchise has just been so successful at the box office, they've been smart about their budget and their marketing when they've been putting this out here. Maybe they think they can even get a bigger draw by putting it out during the summer.
That's true, and you're absolutely right. I guess for me, as far as the movies go, I too really enjoyed Olympus Has Fallen. I just didn't see a need for like another film, so I never saw London Has Fallen. But yeah, I mean, I think ultimately what we're saying here is, it's been a solid franchise and it's making money for itself. It's being smart. So let's move on to our next category. We've got sequels and reboots, and we're actually going to start with a movie that comes out this weekend. Godzilla, King of the Monsters. Now, to speak to Godzilla, I really loved the first one. Now, this one, it looks like they are answering to people that may have had how you felt about the first film, and now they're just putting like a ton of monsters in it. And I don't know, I haven't seen the film obviously yet. It comes out this weekend, but it really seems like they're just trying to ramp up this one. But what do you think?
No, I think so too. Just from the marketing I've seen for this, the main visual image you get is of Godzilla and King Ghidorah just running at each other. So they definitely want you to know this is a movie about monsters fighting. Right. And I did like the first movie, but I had my criticisms about it. The 2014 one. That was directed by Gareth Edwards, and he used the tactic of giving us teases and glimpses of Godzilla, and it took a really long time before we saw Godzilla on screen, which for me as a viewer, the movie's called Godzilla. I'm expecting to see a lot of Godzilla, and we really didn't until the last act. So I'm one of the people who honestly had that as a criticism of the film, and it looks like this film is addressing that, because we got not only we get not only Godzilla and Ghidorah, but we're getting Mothra. Who I like Mothra, and we're getting Rodan too. So we're getting like 4 monsters in this thing, which is crazy.
Exactly. So we'll see how that is. But I think you're right that hopefully they focus more on the monsters and less on Aaron Taylor Johnson.
It does have a good cast, though.
It does, exactly,
You got Vera Farmiga, who's well known from the Conjuring movies.
Right.
I may be the only person who hasn't seen Stranger Things, but Millie Bobby Brown is in this movie. So
our next sequel will be The Secret Life of Pets 2. And just quickly for me, because I know you haven't seen the first film.
No.
I personally, I don't think you're really missing anything. I think this is a harmless kids film. You know, it has its funny moments, and I think it's something that kids would enjoy. But it's not very deep. There's not really much to it, essentially. So this, like you said, Harrison Ford is voicing a dog.
Yeah, I'm excited about that.
Exciting. Yeah, but to me, I wasn't really clamoring for a second one of these, although I was thinking they're probably going to make a second one. So honestly, I like the first one, but I don't really have much of an interest in general in seeing the second one. Do you have any thoughts about it?
No, just I know that this seems to be a big movie for families.
Yes,
A lot of my friends who have kids, I know, have seen this movie, and it was a hit when it came out.
It was.
So to me, it makes sense they'd make a sequel. But apart from Harrison Ford, you know, voicing a dog in it, I'm not really that interested in it.
Right. Exactly. So let's move on to X-Men: Dark Phoenix.
Okay, so this is actually the 7th X-Men film.
Yeah.
And it's probably going to be the final one, honestly, because, you know, with Disney buying Fox, they now have the rights to all of the Marvel stuff.
Right.
So this incarnation of X-Men, this is probably going to be it. If we see the X-Men in the future, they'll probably be integrated somewhere down the line into the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
Right.
But for right now, this is what we get. And I am not sure what to think about this film, because depending on which trailer you see, it looks really good, or it looks like it could be bad and a repeat of The Last Stand, which I'm really terrified about the latter.
Right.
One of the big issues I have had with the marketing and promotion for this film is that in the second trailer, they let drop a really big spoiler.
Right.
That one of the main characters is going to be killed. And I don't understand why you would do that. Why wouldn't you save that kind of revelation for the actual film?
Right, exactly.
So that has me worried if they're already saying, hey, this person's going to die, there's going to be more of that in the film. Yeah. Why did you need to put that out there unless your film maybe isn't that good?
Exactly. And that's what I'm kind of thinking. I'm pretty worried about this film.
Yeah.
I love the franchise, and I love the characters that they have put in to be the younger characters that we've grown up with. But yeah, I'm worried. I'm hopeful, but ultimately worried. Sophie Turner, which I think this could be really interesting for her. To try to break out of Game of Thrones just ending, and so that's why I really hope this works out, because I really like everyone involved. But like you said, I'm worried. That's all.
Despite my concerns, I don't want this film to fail. I want it to be really good. No. Like you said, Sophie Turner, honestly, in these trailers, she looks like she's giving a great performance.
Yes.
So I hope that's true. And the cast, you have Michael Fassbender. You've got Jennifer Lawrence. You've got a lot of key people in this who have been great throughout the franchise. So if this is it for these actors in these roles, I would like it to go out on a high note.
Exactly.
I'm just worried because some of the plot seems so similar to The Last Stand, with them being in Gene's old neighborhood and stuff. It's just, I think there's a lot here to be optimistic about, but there's a lot here to be worried about.
All right, moving on to our next sequel. Yeah, sequel. It'll be Shaft, which I guess is a sequel to Shaft.
Yeah.
From 2000.
Yep.
Which is a sequel to Shaft, I guess.
Exactly.
So it's a lot of, but honestly, to get to the meat of it, when I first saw a trailer for this, and I said, look, it looks funny. It honestly, it looks pretty good. I will generally give movies that have Samuel Jackson a benefit of the doubt, because I think he's great. He's enjoyable, whether he's being whether he's tackling a great acting role like Tarantino usually gives him, or more of a fun acting role. He could really do it all, honestly, and so I'm gonna give this a shot, because they're bringing back Richard Roundtree.
That's incredible,
Yeah, so there's a lot of good. I was really sold on the trailer for this, honestly. What do you
Yeah, I liked it too. Like, I liked how it had that sense of humor right off the bat. And there's this one scene where you see the three of them like wearing the same coats and they're just like walking across the street. Like, I love that. That was great.
Exactly. So, I mean, could be good.
Yeah, give it a shot.
Yeah, give it a shot. Here's another movie that I'm optimistic about, but kind of unsure of. Men in Black International. What do you think about this?
Okay, I think this looks like a lot of fun. Like, honestly, I'm just going into the mindset of this being a fun popcorn movie.
Yeah.
I like the first Men in Black. I think most people do.
Yes.
I didn't see the second, which a lot of people said isn't good.
It's not the best one, though.
I like the third one, though.
I do, too, a lot.
So, yeah, maybe, I'm hoping this maybe will have the better parts of the franchise in it.
Yeah.
One thing I'm hopeful about too is the chemistry between Chris Hemsworth and Tessa Thompson. Like, they were fantastic in Thor Ragnarok.
Right.
And to see them, you know, be in another movie, and if this, I mean, if this succeeds, we might get a new franchise with them.
That's true.
So I'm kind of focusing on the positives about it right now.
That's what I'm excited about. I am a big fan of the franchise, actually. I even like 2, but I totally admit that it's not the greatest film. I thought that 3 was really good to give us the turn that it took. I think it really worked.
It was very emotional.
Right.
But earned.
Right. But earned, absolutely. So I mean, I like the franchise, so I'm definitely willing to give this a shot. And like you said, the thing I am most excited about is definitely Chris Hemsworth with Tessa Thompson. I think they're both great, and like you said, they've both been great together in a movie before.
Yeah.
So I think that you're right in that I'm willing to give this franchise the benefit of the doubt. There are a few negative things that there
the
are
little
a few
alien
things.
guy.
Yes,
I'm worried about him too.
Right, there are things that worry me, but ultimately I'm definitely willing to give this a shot based on what I've seen in the past from the franchise and from these actors, honestly. Our next film that we have here is Spider-Man Far From Home, which is oddly the last film of Phase 3 of the Marvel Cinematic Universe, which you would think it'd be Endgame, but this is going to end Phase 3 of the MCU. What do you think from what you've seen from this movie?
I'm actually excited about this because it looks like it's going to deal with the aftermath of Avengers Endgame. We're not going to get into spoilers about that here, just in case there are some of you who haven't seen it yet. But one of the things this happened in Infinity War was when Thanos snapped and half of existence disappeared.
Right.
But now everybody's back. I think it's okay if we say that.
I think
we'll probably
it's fair.
figure that out. Everybody's back, but there are some people who have missed out on 5 years of their life.
Right.
And then there was also a chain reaction from the snap that apparently caused a hole in our dimension.
Right.
And as a result of that, the Marvel Cinematic Universe is going to be entering into some new territory here. They're bringing in the idea of a multiverse, which means you've got like different Earths in different universes, but they're existing parallel to each other.
Right.
This is a concept that the DC has played with on their shows on the CW. They've been doing this for a couple years, and honestly, they've been doing a fantastic job with it. So I'm really interested to see Spider-Man of all the movies venture into this territory.
Right.
It's interesting, like you said, that this movie is wrapping up Phase 3.
Right.
But when you're dealing with something as vast as the multiverse, this opens up so many story possibilities for Phase 4. So I'm excited about that.
Right. Definitely, and you have tons of, you had started to say it, but I mean, there's so many rumors, like maybe this is how the X-Men get here, or maybe this is, maybe even like Spider-Man into the Spider-Verse, maybe this is like a real connection between the two, between those films. So, I mean, like you said, I'm excited for the possibilities that this may have, and also, it looks like it's going to be a pretty darn good movie.
Yes,
it
does.
Tom Holland and bringing in Jake Gyllenhaal and
Oh, he's such a good actor.
Yes.
Like, honestly, have somebody like that joining the MCU, it shows
Right.
you just... And the MCU has so many fantastic in it to begin with, but all these, someone of his caliber joining, it just adds even more to it.
Exactly, and that's I guess it shouldn't shock us as much
Right,
at this point, but like still, like could you have ever imagined a time where you'd get actors of the caliber of like Jake Gyllenhaal and like we've had Robert Redford, we've had so many, Kate Blanchett, I mean, so many entering this franchise. So I just hope that it continues to build essentially on the franchise. This is really funny that this movie is next on the list, but apparently there's a 47 Meters Down Uncaged, which is a sequel to 47 Meters Down. Now, I think the thing that annoys me most about it is, why is it not called 48 Meters Down?
That's a good question, and I didn't see the first one, so I can't answer it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I haven't either.
That's a good point, though, math. Yeah.
Right? Yeah, and I didn't think this movie was real, but, it's real, and it's coming. It's coming, so I don't know if it's to a theater near us or whatever, but it's coming. We can't really say much about it, though.
No, the one interesting thing of note was that Sylvester Stallone's daughter will be making her acting debut. So her name is Sistine Stallone. So we've got that. So
exactly. I think you salvaged that very, very well. Giving us a nice little nugget. So I guess what I think we're done with our sequels, reboots category here, which is crazy.
There's a lot of them this summer.
There's quite a bit. But now we're going to talk about a few musical films. Well, not musicals, sorry. But we have opening this weekend, Rocketman.
Yes.
Which, I mean, it looks great. I mean, I'll let you take it away first.
Yeah, this is going to be a musical biopic. I guess that's what we could call it, a musical biopic.
There you go.
Yeah, about Elton John's life. And his life is crazy to begin with. So what I like, if you've seen the trailers, it seems like they're going to be adding like a magical realism quality to this. And that's perfect for a performer who's already larger than life.
Yeah, true.
So I'm looking forward to that aspect of it, but apparently this is directed by Dexter Fletcher.
Yes.
Who, if that name is not familiar to you, he actually directed Bohemian Rhapsody after Bryan Singer was let go.
Yeah.
But his name isn't on it. Bryan Singer was able to retain his name on that film. Mm-hmm. But if you like Bohemian Rhapsody, I think there's a really good chance that you're going to like this movie too.
Definitely, and I'm going to go ahead and throw a prediction out there. I think this movie's going to be better than Bohemian Rhapsody.
I think it will too.
And I love Taron Egerton. And the director has worked with him before. He also directed Eddie the Eagle.
Okay.
So I just think that this looks great. I love Elton John. I mean, who doesn't? But I just really think that I'm excited to see Taron Egerton actually get a role like this, because I think he's very talented. We've seen, in his young career with Kingsman and, even Eddie the Eagle. I actually enjoyed that movie. But yeah, I think it's going to be great. I don't really have much more to say about it but I'm super pumped, honestly.
Do you think in a way we might be getting a head start on awards season?
I do.
Taron's looking really good in this movie, and he's doing his own singing, which is impressive.
Which is really impressive.
Yeah,
exactly. That's why I just think that this movie's gonna be better than Bohemian Rhapsody. Whether it'll have the same impact, I don't know. I don't think so. But I do agree with you. I think we're already getting into award season. We'll be definitely talking about this later down the road.
I hope so too. Yeah.
This is a different film. It's called Yesterday, which obviously deals with a lot of Beatles songs. But the premise is that I don't understand exactly what happens. Is there like a power outage around the world?
I think that's a good question.
Yeah.
When I've been doing research about this film, it's made a point to say that it's about a struggling singer-songwriter who has an accident, and then when he wakes up, he's the only one who remembers all the Beatles songs and lyrics. Was there really an accident that happened at the exact same time is a good question, or is it just a story where he had an accident and is he? I hope I'm not giving anything away. I haven't seen it yet. But is he maybe in a
Right.
coma this whole time? Like,
Right,
we don't know.
that's true, yeah.
But the story
Right.
he's told is that, yeah, there was a power outage around the world, and then
Yeah.
everybody wakes up and seemingly loses memory of the Beatles, except
Right.
for him.
Right, exactly, which is actually an interesting premise. It's probably most interesting to me because I like the Beatles a lot. So it's, but I mean, I think it looks very good. I think that, you know, I'll be interested to see like what the plot is, or what the story ends up like revealing. I think I think it could really make or break the film because it looks very good. It looks, you know, very entertaining, obviously with a lot of Beatles music. So I think people are going to enjoy it. You've got a great director in place in Danny Boyle, who I've really enjoyed his career and his versatility in movies. Honestly, so to me, I'm on board with this movie.
Oh yeah, I am too. I'm actually a huge Beatles fan.
There you
I've been
go,
a fan of theirs since high school. So like just hearing their songs in the
Right.
trailer, like there's so many good memories with them, and they're such great songs.
Right.
So I'm like this movie could come out tomorrow, and I would just run to it.
Right.
I can't wait for this to come out, and it looks like cute. You know,
It does,
looks like nice at the same time.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm excited for this.
Yeah.
This should be good.
Absolutely. We got a couple comedies here, which I think both of them look really good. The first one we have here, the one that comes out June 7th, will be Late Night, starring Emma Thompson and Mindy Kaling. This is, I could be wrong here, but when I was looking up directors for these films, this is the first one that I saw that actually had a female director.
That's a good point. Yeah, I noticed that too.
Which is a little, I thought we would have had one by now,
Right,
you know,
yeah.
but I mean, that's great. I mean, and it looks like it's going to be a pretty good film, with the idea of that Emma Thompson is running a late night television show, and her show's gone stale essentially, and Mindy Kaling's coming in to kind of spice it up essentially, and I think it could be a really nice film. What do you think?
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to this.
Yeah.
Emma Thompson's actually one of my favorite actresses.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna plug her here because she's also in Men in Black International.
Well, that's true.
So we get a double dose of Emma Thompson this summer.
That's true.
But this seems like something she would be fantastic at. She's so good with comedy, but there's clearly going to be, I think, a dramatic angle as she's dealing with the fact that, hey, like your show is stale.
Right.
They want to cancel her show, so she's got to figure out how do I bring life back into this.
Right.
And it looks like she's going to discover herself in the process that she's working with Mindy Kaling's character.
Right.
So I always like movies that have to do with like some sort of self-discovery.
Agreed.
So to see one of my favorite actresses play a character like that, it just
Yeah.
definitely makes me want to see this movie.
Absolutely, and the next movie on this list is Stuber, and I'm pretty, oh man, I'm pretty excited for this. It's the first thing I saw was a poster with Kumail Nanjiani and Dave Bautista on it. I'm just like, okay, I'll see this movie. I didn't even need to know about it, but I laughed very hard at this trailer. There are a few sequences in the trailer that are very funny to me. Love Kumail Nanjiani, love Dave Bautista, and honestly, you know, it's really cool to see a guy like Dave Bautista who has limitations, but he knows what he can do. And he does those things very well as an actor. He's been very successful building an acting career out of what he is capable of, and it's just great to see him on screen here. I mean, he can obviously do comedy, he can obviously do action, so he's doing both in this film, and I'm really excited to see what comes out of this one. What do you think?
Yeah, he's an actor who's really surprised me. Like I remember him when he was on WWE.
Right.
I did watch that at one point in time, and I remember him being on there. And it didn't really, I think, occur to me that he could translate to this over screen, and he definitely has. Between Guardians of the Galaxy. He can even go dramatic. Like he has a really small but pivotal role in Blade Runner 2049 that was so impressive. So it's great to see him get more opportunities at what he's good at.
Exactly, and even in Spectre, where he plays a hitman who just he doesn't really say anything, but like all he needs to do is just like hit people, and it's just like and it actually makes for the best action sequence of Spectre, which is kind of a lacking James Bond film, honestly. But anyway, I mean, these are two great people. I think we're in for some laughs and some a pretty fun movie, honestly. Next, we're going to go into the indie territory here with now again. I think I say this every time for our movie previews. Midsummer.
Midsummer, yeah.
Midsummer. You didn't tell me that it was a horror.
Sorry, I should have warned you.
And it's from the director of Hereditary, I believe. Yeah, it is. So this gave me an odd vibe. If you've seen, it does remind me of Hereditary, honestly.
Yeah.
Which was a creepy but actually pretty solid horror movie in my opinion. I know you have similar and different, opinion of it, but it gave me this odd like Wicker Man vibe.
Oh, I got the same thing. Yeah.
Which I've never seen the original, but I've seen the Nicolas Cage one.
Oh, I was really hoping that it was the opposite. The original and not the Nicolas Cage one.
Exactly, but I don't know. It's got a good vibe. It's got a pretty good director. I mean, it looks like it's gonna be solid. What do you think?
Yeah, one of the reasons why I didn't warn you about this film is because when you start watching the trailer, this does not look like your typical trailer for a horror movie. It blinds you with bright colors, with flowers. Like I think it's described as like a folk horror film.
Yeah.
Because it takes place in Sweden at this festival that happens every 90 years. So it looks beautiful. Like it really doesn't look like what you think a horror film would look like.
Right.
But then as you keep watching the trailer, you can tell there's something very disturbing underneath the surface of it. There's little sounds and noises and images here and there that flash at you. So this is from the director of Hereditary, like you said.
Yeah.
That's a really well-made film, which I appreciated. But it also really left me unsettled, and I'm not sure that I actually like it.
Yeah.
But that could just mean the film was effective.
True.
So going into this film, I'm apprehensive because, it's probably going to be well made, but will I like it? I don't know.
Right.
I don't know, but I did see the original Wicker Man. If this is anything like that, we're going to be very frightened.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
In a good way, hopefully.
Yeah.
If you've seen the Nicolas Cage one, I'm sorry, I saw that in the theater when it came out.
Oh no.
Yeah. So I would almost stake, I would almost say this has to be better than that. It has to be,
to be, no doubt. And actually, you brought up a good point to just to build off of. Hereditary was a critically acclaimed film that audiences didn't enjoy. Generally, I don't want to say everybody, but it's kind of similar to like. I think, wasn't The Witch similar or something?
I felt the same way about The Witch.
Yeah.
Witch was incredibly well made, very good attention to period detail, but I felt like it missold you. It said it was a horror movie. It was more like a period piece with horror elements.
Right.
So critically acclaimed, audience is very divided on that too.
Right, so
this might fall into the same category.
Exactly. So we'll see if that plays out. The other indie movie here, and I don't know how much you got on this. Brittany runs a marathon.
Yeah.
I couldn't find a ton on it. I know Jillian Bell from like a few things.
Yeah.
But I don't know, and she is talented. But I don't really know much about this film.
I'm not sure either, I guess, like, a little bit about the plot I found out. It's about a woman who, she's taking control of her life by running a little more every day. I guess she's told, look, your health is going downhill. If you don't start to make changes, you might die, or your health at least might worsen, So it starts with her running, like, a block, and then a few blocks, and then a mile, which sounds really inspirational.
Right.
So if that's what the story is, that sounds like it'll be great. And
absolutely.
I'm a little unsure as to whether this is a comedy or not, because I know Jillian Bell for her comedic roles. So if this is more of a dramatic turn for her, I'd like to see what she's capable of and what she can do in it.
Exactly, and just to echo what you said, I think she's talented. I think this movie definitely has a good premise.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it sounds like something that I would enjoy and could give her some really be a pretty good critically acclaimed film, essentially.
Mm-hmm.
So moving on to, we're entering the drama category here, and the first one we have is 21 Bridges starring Chadwick Boseman. And honestly, it was at that point where I was just like, I'll see it. I'll see it.
Oh yeah.
Chadwick Boseman, I've loved him ever since 42 came out, where he's Jackie Robinson, and then he plays James Brown and is in Get On Up, and it's just like, geez, if he is playing this many icons, this guy's a master of acting. So, I mean, I'm in, but honestly, to me, this movie doesn't look like it's anything special. I hope I'm wrong, because I'm sold, like I said, on Bozeman, and J.K. Simmons is in it. So I mean, there's definitely some positives here, but to me, it just kind of looks like a run of the mill. I feel like we've seen a movie like this before, but what do you think?
Yeah, I mean, he's the big draw for me in it too. I'm also optimistic because the producers on this film are Joe and Anthony Russo.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And all three of them have worked together on the Avengers films.
Right.
So
right.
I'm thinking if they have, it seems like they must have had a really good working relationship that they're working together again. So I think something like that can boost a movie.
Oh, absolutely.
So like you said, I'm not sure if it's going to be that different from others in the crime genre.
Right.
But I'll give it a shot.
Definitely. The next movie we have here is The Art of Racing in the Rain. Now, this is the trailer was actually really surprising to me in the beginning, because you have Kevin Costner talking, and he's voicing a dog, which you don't realize until like 30 seconds into the trailer. I mean, honestly, my big takeaway from this is it looks adorable.
Oh,
honestly. It looks like. I wouldn't want this. I feel like I wouldn't want to push this into like a dog's journey, a dog's purpose, like those movies that are coming out. I feel like this could be, honestly, something better. And director Simon Curtis, he's done a movie that I liked, A Woman in Gold. I don't know if you've seen it.
Yeah, with Helen Mirren.
Yeah,
that's
I think
a great
it's a pretty
movie.
solid movie.
That was underrated, actually.
Yeah, I agree. So, I mean, I think this could be pretty good. What do you think?
Yeah, I've actually been hearing about this movie for a long time because it's about a race car driver.
Yeah.
And some of my friends who are racing fans read the book, and it's been known for a while that a movie was going to be made about it. I think it's been in development for a while. But I'm not sure, I guess it's just been a really long process, but when I was doing research for this, I found a 2011 article that said Patrick Dempsey was attached to star in it.
Oh, okay, yeah,
and he actually is a race car driver in real life, so it would have been a good fit, but I'm not sure why that didn't pan out.
True.
Maybe just too much time has passed.
Yeah.
But this sounds like a cute, adorable movie.
Yeah,
I like the fact that there's a racing aspect to it, but it does seem like dog movies, maybe this isn't quite the same as other dog's purpose movies that you mentioned, but it's definitely a trend right now. A Dog's Journey just came out this month, so people seem to have an appetite for dog-centric movies.
Exactly, and I'm glad you said the racing element, because I literally was just like, it's a movie about a talking dog. Like, I don't think that's the main purpose of the film. So thank you for adding context to what I was saying. Now this next film, The Kitchen. Now, did you see the trailer? It literally dropped last night.
No, I didn't. Yeah. No, I feel bad now. No, I didn't see it.
It's not your fault. I was watching the NBA Finals, game one of the NBA Finals, and they decided to drop the trailer.
Oh.
Yeah, so we were actually a little upset. Like, we don't know a ton about this movie, and then all of a sudden I'm sitting there watching basketball, and it's just like, The Kitchen, and it showed a trailer for it. Now, what we knew going in was that this is a really solid cast, and I think we're both pretty excited for what this film is capable of.
Yeah.
To me, when I saw the trailer, and granted, I actually saw the smaller one. They said for a full trailer, go to YouTube.
Okay.
So I haven't seen that yet, but I saw the one during the NBA Finals, and to me, it looks odd because you have a bunch of women who are known for comedy
starring in this.
Yes, you have Tiffany Haddish and Melissa McCarthy, and I mean, these are just good actresses. I'm not saying that this can't be done. I actually think it's going to be a very good movie. But looking at this trailer and just being like, oh, this is a drama. This is a drama. It's it kind of jerks you to be like, oh, okay, we have to take into account that this is a dramatic movie. I think it looks pretty interesting. The Wives of New York New York gangsters in Hell's Kitchen in the 1970s continue to operate their husbands' rackets after they're locked up in prison. That was from IMDb, clearly. But I think this looks great. Director Andrea Berloff, I think she's a first-time director, but she helped write Straight Outta Compton.
Wow. Okay. Yeah, that's
which
a
is
good cred.
really great. Yeah, which is a really great cred to have. And so honestly, the little we know about it, I'm pretty excited for it. What do you think?
Yeah, I actually put this one on here just because I saw the cast alone. And
Yeah.
you have these women known for comedy doing drama. This is
Right.
going to be great. And I mean, like Melissa McCarthy has shown what she can
Right.
do. You know, she was
Right.
nominated for Can You Ever Forgive Me
Yeah.
for best actress, which is honestly like. This is gonna sound strange, but I watched her on Gilmore Girls, so I knew she was capable of a lot of
Right.
stuff. It was, you know, she's built her movie career in comedy, but she's actually a very versatile actress.
Exactly.
So it's nice to see her starting to get more recognition for her dramatic abilities, and just like, I don't know how Tiffany Haddish is gonna be in this, but I'm so excited because I like Tiffany Haddish a lot. This will be great.
Exactly. I think that actors or actresses moving from comedy to drama, I feel like it comes really easily to them.
Doesn't it?
I don't know. I've never been an actor, so I don't know, but I feel like you could make that turn pretty easily and even get yourself some awards for it. So I'm very excited, and it's funny because like you mentioned those two great actresses, and then there's also like Elizabeth Moss.
Yeah. We're not trying to like not mention her. She's
Exactly.
Emmy winner
She's
here.
fantastic.
Yeah.
So I mean, this is just a great cast, and it's probably going to be a great time at the movies. Next, we have The Informer. Again, to me, this is a solid. I think all in all, it's a pretty solid cast. I'm not completely sold on Joel Kinnaman yet, but you have Rosamund Pike and
she's great.
Yeah, exactly. You even have a Clive Owen in here. And this comes from the producers of Sicario, I believe. So there's definite potential, but this just seems like a run-of-the-mill action film.
Yeah.
What do you think?
I'm more excited for 21 Bridges.
Yes,
We're going to look at the other films, that we've talked about in this category. Like this, the cast is really solid.
Right.
I actually did like Joel Kinnaman in Suicide Squad. I might be the only person who did. I actually thought he was fine in it. But yeah, I'm not sure if this movie really grabs me. It seems like it might be more generic, like you said.
Yeah, exactly. And I actually like Joel Kinnaman in House of Cards, come to think of it. So, but anyway, this just it didn't do much for me when I saw the trailer. Just like we were saying, run of the mill, and I think it comes out in August. Yeah, so that may lead to it's not that great, and they're throwing it in August. But hopefully we're wrong.
Yeah, seriously.
We don't root for movies to be bad.
No, we don't. Yeah, it may sound like we do, but we really don't.
Yeah, exactly. Now we have our next category, my favorite category, horror. So we've got a few movies here, and I'm really going to try to lean on Rebecca for these. Rebecca. Okay, so The Dead Don't Die. Tell us.
Okay, so this looks like a movie that's trying to put a spin on the zombie genre, which is kind of becoming tired, honestly.
True.
You've got a lot of stars in this movie. You've got Bill Murray, Adam Driver, Chloe Sevigny. The awesome thing about the casting here for Bill Murray is that he had a really great role in Zombieland, and apparently he's going to be coming back for the sequel to that, which I'm not sure. If you've seen it, I don't know how that's going to happen, but I don't care, I accept it.
Exactly.
But that's fantastic casting right there, knowing his place in this genre.
Exactly.
And they're going to be, basically it's about this small town that they have a case of zombies, and they're going to be trying to fight them off.
Right.
But you're going to have some interesting characters doing this, because Tilda Swinton is in this. And she actually reminds me of her role in Doctor Strange as the ancient one, because she's swinging katanas at zombies. So that seems like a lot of fun.
Exactly. This is oddly. I know how I prefaced this, but yes. What was I going to say? This is actually a movie that I think I enjoy quite a bit. It looks really good. I love the acting talent is absolutely incredible. And I think Adam Driver's he's fantastic, and so I think I am sold on that one, honestly. Jumping to the next film, actually, I kind of skipped it here. It's coming out this weekend, and it's Ma.
Yes, Ma.
Take it away, Rebecca.
Okay, so this is actually a Blumhouse horror film.
Yeah.
They've been building up an incredible cred with films like Get Out, Happy Death Day, and Happy Death Day to You. I think Us was with them, right?
Yes, I think you're right, yeah.
So they've been having some solid entries in the horror genre.
Right.
And this film stars Octavia Spencer. She plays a middle-aged woman who's befriending a group of high schoolers. She's actually letting them have drinking parties in her basement, but since this is a horror movie, her motives are sinister.
Yeah.
So, one of the things that actually really shocked me when I was doing research for this movie is that this is Octavia Spencer's first lead role.
Unbelievable.
She
unbelievable.
She's been doing supporting roles this whole time. She won the Oscar for Best Supporting Actress for The Help. She's also been nominated for Hidden Figures and The Shape of Water, but again, they were both supporting actress roles. So she's such a talented actress. It's crazy it's taken this long for her to get her own starring vehicle.
Right, exactly, and this movie looks. I don't even know how to describe it, but I'm excited that she's getting a leading role. I think that's what I'm most excited for. It looks terrifying. But also looks like it can be fun. You know what I mean?
It looks like it could have a campy aspect to it, and it looks like she might be leaning into that, which is fun because it's a different role for her. She's appeared in a lot of period pieces, like all the 3 films that we just rattled off that she's been nominated or won awards for were period pieces. Right. So it'd be interesting to see her in the modern day, actually.
Yeah, definitely. So the next film I have here, Child's Play. Chucky's back.
This is actually probably the one in this category I'm the most nervous about because I've never seen any of the Chucky films.
Neither have I.
I mean, he's been doing this since 1988. There's a franchise of so many films here.
Right.
This film in particular is going to be like a remake and a reboot of the 1988 film. And apparently the big difference is that in the original film, the doll, Chucky, was inhabited by the spirit of a serial killer. In this one, it's actually a smart toy, which means they brought it up to technology.
Right.
So I'm not sure, again, I haven't seen the original film, so I'm not sure how I feel about that. I guess it's good in terms of being modern and adapting to the changing times, but is Chucky an app? That's a Disney app? So, and again, these movies, really aren't my cup of tea, so I'm a little leery. The trailer looked kind of brutal in some of what happens to his victims in it, so I'm not sure. It seemed like maybe not something I'd enjoy.
Right, exactly, and pretty much same here. I've never really had an interest. First of all, I'm not the biggest fan of horror, and I just the premise of these just never really grabbed me, honestly. But moving on to another pretty long franchise now at this point, so with spin-offs, and we have Annabelle Comes Home. But Rebecca, take it away again.
Okay. Well, weird thing is, there is a trend in horror movies this summer, and the trend is creepy dolls.
Right.
So we're on our second creepy doll here with Annabelle.
Yeah.
Weirdly enough, Annabelle Comes Home comes out June 8th, and Child's Play comes out a week before. So you're gonna get bookended here with creepy doll movies. But Annabelle Comes Home, that's actually the 7th movie in the Conjuring franchise.
Yeah.
This movie is
crazy.
They're going long and strong, this franchise.
Yeah.
But this is actually going to be the 3rd movie about the doll herself.
Right.
This movie is significant because it's the first one in strictly the Annabelle sub-franchise that we're going to see actually Ed and Lorraine Warren, who are the main characters in the Conjuring films, are going to be in this film. Annabelle actually started off in the first Conjuring movie. She was in the intro of the film, and the Warrens took her into their haunted artifacts room because she's a possessed doll.
Right.
And her legacy kind of grew from there. But in this movie, she's not going to be staying in that room. She's going to be enacting terror on, it looks like, the Warrens' daughter, Judy. And her babysitter. So I think we're going to be in for a wild ride here.
Yeah.
I honestly think this movie looks really good. The trailer sent, shivers down my spine, which is a good sign. I've seen the other Annabelle movies. The first one is not that good, but the second one was a prequel and a huge improvement. So
Right.
I'm hoping this is more in line with the sequel,
Right.
which is Annabelle Creation.
I was gonna say, I mean, this franchise hasn't only been long lasting. It's been pretty solid, really, critically. And like you said, the first Annabelle was not the greatest, but you know, it really rallied to create a good sequel, Annabelle Creation, and
Yeah, it made a lot of money, that first Annabelle movie.
Right,
So.
that too. So I mean, this is a really successful franchise that people seem to like, and you know, I hope that critically they keep it going, because it's obviously going to keep making money.
Right.
And finally, now Rebecca the other day took the time to explain the plot of The Boy to me. So there's apparently a sequel, The Boy 2. Now, from what you explained to me, this is The Boy is just a horrible film, but we've got The Boy 2.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what do you think?
Yeah. I'm not shocked. I'm surprised that they came up with a sequel for this film. But if you haven't seen the first film, I don't want to give it away. But the first film has to do with there's an older couple, and they hire this woman to take care of their son. I actually don't think I told you this part, but their son turns out to be a doll, and it's in this creepy mansion. And, you know, the woman is taking care of this doll, and she discovers that there's more going on in the house than she knows.
Right.
I actually really liked the first half of the first film, but when the revelations came out toward the end, I really didn't like the film as a whole.
Right.
But I guess it must have made enough money to warrant a sequel.
Clearly.
So we have a sequel here. From what I can find out, it's also set in the same house as the first film, but this time there's a new family moving into it.
Okay.
And apparently the son becomes friends with the doll. The doll, the boy, is named like Brahms.
Right.
So, you know, Brahms is the name of this creepy doll. And one question I had about this film is that Katie Holmes is starring in it, and why is she starring in this movie?
Exactly.
So,
I don't get it.
yeah, that I've actually, even though I didn't like the first film, I think I might see it just to see why is she in this movie.
Right. So that's basically a curiosity film.
Yes.
So hey, who knows? Maybe they'll rally and make this spectacular film.
I hope. I
Who
don't
knows?
know. Yeah.
But all right, so we're gonna make our way out of horror.
Oh, so I'm sure.
Yeah, I'm happy about, and we're gonna go to the auteurs as we have it. Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. This is the next Quentin Tarantino film, and that was all I needed to know. But this has a really great cast. You've got obviously Brad Pitt, Leonardo DiCaprio, Margot Robbie. Those are your main people. And this is just, I mean, I've really enjoyed everything that Tarantino has done, in general. I think he has like a couple blips, but you know, I really like The Hateful Eight. That's his last film, and it was, honestly, it's like a 3-hour movie, but I cannot turn that film off.
Oh wow.
Every time it's on, so and I get something new out of it every time I see it. So, I mean, honestly, I'm hooked. I did not need to see much about this film. What about you?
I'm a little like interested but also confused about this film, just because when I first heard about it, you know, it does star Leonardo DiCaprio, you know, fantastic actor, Brad Pitt, another fantastic actor.
Right.
DiCaprio's playing a TV actor, and Brad Pitt's playing his stunt double, and they're looking to chase after their dreams and movies. This is set in like the late '60s in Hollywood, so I love the fact that it's set during like the era of classic Hollywood, actually more toward the end of that.
Yeah.
But then one of the first things I also heard about the film was that Leonardo DiCaprio's neighbor is Sharon Tate, who was, you know, murdered by Charles Manson's followers. So it seems like that's not the focal point of the film. It seems to be a side aspect. And so I'm kind of confused, like, how light is this film going to be? How dark is it going to be? I am interested to see Margot Robbie as Sharon Tate.
Right.
I think that's an excellent fit right there.
Definitely.
But I guess I'm not entirely sure what kind of film I'm going into. Is it more so like a love letter to classic Hollywood, which is what I'm seeing from some of the reviews that have come out from the festivals.
Right.
But then how does this darker component fit into that?
Right, exactly. And the reviews have been kind of funny. With someone who worked with Herb, he kind of like read one, and it was just like absurd, violent, brilliant, and it was just like it kind of went from like one aspect to another, and it's, like I said, intriguing. But you're absolutely right. I don't think it's very straightforward as to what this is going to be, honestly. So our other film we have here is Where'd You Go, Bernadette? Again, this is. I feel like this is a trend for a bunch of films, which is good. But there's a really great cast in this.
Yeah.
Cate Blanchett, Billy Crudup, Kristen Wiig, Lawrence Fishburne. You've got a director, Richard Linklater, who's been good. I know I kind of was like cautious in saying that, but like it's like the last movie I saw by him was Boyhood, and I feel like it's a very good artistic achievement that I actually really enjoyed, but it's very long and it doesn't really have a plot. So I don't know how to like describe him in a way that like, oh yeah, he's great, go see his movies, because I don't really know that Boyhood's really a movie I'd recommend to people. So this is a movie where the premise is kind of, I feel like this is another one where it's kind of up in the air. I don't know what it's going to be, really.
Yeah.
Bernadette disappears, essentially.
Right.
Hence, Where'd You Go, Bernadette? So I think the pieces are in place for a very good film here, but I can't really nail down, like, yeah, this is going to be great. Because I don't know. But what do you think?
Like this film, it looks like a lighter comedy mystery to me. And I think there's family potential for this because, it is based on a novel, but the story is about, apparently Bernadette is a mother, and I guess after putting her creative passions on hold for her family, she decides to go on this adventure, and hence Where'd You Go, Bernadette?
Yeah.
So I think, like, it looks whimsical.
Yes.
That's what I'm getting from it.
Yeah.
Again, great cast with Cate Blanchett. Kristen Wiig is in this movie, so that makes me interested already.
Yes.
You've got Judy Greer, who is always, like, she plays good supporting roles and whatever she's doing.
Absolutely.
So this looks interesting. I'm not sure how it's gonna fare at the box office.
Right.
So this will be like, it's just an interesting film. It seems very different from some of the other films we talked about.
Yes, yeah.
But you've got the name recognition of Richard Linklater, who he has, like you said, he has Boyhood. He did the Before Sunrise movies.
Right.
He did Dazed and Confused, which is a fantastic movie. He did the sequel to that too. So he's got like such a variety of movies that he's done. I think he could bring something unique to this.
Absolutely, and I'm glad you named those films because I only named Boyhood. There's much more that he's done besides that, but that is all that we have on our list. So I guess just to wrap it up, I mean, what do you think just in general? I mean, are you excited for what's coming out, or like what do you think is going to be one of our better summers essentially?
I think it has the potential to be one of our better summers. Honestly, you've got to look at a lot of the family type films coming out. Like I think Toy Story 4, The Lion King, this might be a really good summer for families.
That's
honestly.
True. Yeah.
And I think like it's a weird summer because you had a movie like Endgame that was so massive and it got so many people to go to it right off the bat.
Right.
And I think like movies aren't cheap. We know that. That's why we talk about them for you to try to help you sift through and figure out which ones you want to go through. But I think there's still some valid ones that people are going to save up to go see. Being like you have your Disneys. I think people are going to go out to Fast and the Furious. That's always a fun time.
True.
Godzilla, I'm excited about, and I think that could be a huge draw this weekend. So you kind of have some of your tent poles that I think people are ready for them.
Right, and I think there's a lot of variety this summer, really. But I think that a lot of times summer looks great. And then it ends up disappointing. So hopefully that won't be the case. But like you said, just to build off of, we've already had Endgame. That was our big summer thing, honestly. Now it's weird to say, like, you know, movies like, you know, The Lion King, Toy Story 4, like, aren't going to fare as well.
Right.
They're still going to be huge.
Absolutely.
You know, so I think there's a lot to be had for everyone here, like you said, for families. I hope that the ride, the action film continues. I'm honestly hoping that Anna is great. You know, I hope that Hobbs and Shaw is great and entertaining, because I really think they're doing action right. And you know, obviously John Wick came out, got great, you know, got great reviews.
Yeah.
So I think that I just hope that we continue to take good steps in action, because I think we've really hit a solid spot. But yeah, I mean, I think there's a lot of great indies, a lot of great, you know, action, family, you know, there's a lot of great drama. So I think we have potential for a great summer, honestly. But all right, I think that's going to wrap us up. Rebecca, anything you want to say? Anything you want to plug?
Yeah, well, Joe's going to be joining me on Take Two Blogs.
That's right.
All right. So you can find us on times-tribune-blogs/Take Two, and we will have more content coming your way this summer.
Absolutely. I couldn't have said it better myself. That's where I'll be now. So I hope you're excited. We'll have a lot of great content for you, and I'm sure we'll be back probably in the fall to do a fall movie preview. So
Sounds good.
Hey, enjoy your summer. We'll see you in the fall.
Thank you for watching.